Well, good morning. Today is Friday, December 4th, day 4 of Vlogmas. And we do have birthdays today. Today is Pam Kemper's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Pam. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. It's also Yvonne Johnson's birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Yvonne. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Hope you both have a great birthday. Have a piece of cake for me. Not a chunk or a hunk like I had on Thanksgiving. It came back to bite me on Saturday, but I'm hoping it doesn't come back to bite me again a week later. You never know. You never know with my body, that's for sure. But we also have an anniversary. Today is Melissa and Alan's anniversary. So Melissa and Alan, you knew you'd get a song. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Oh, how nice. Have an anniversary in December. It would have been cold. Depending on where you live, I guess. I guess it doesn't really matter. Michigan is kind of... Most people in Michigan pick like the summer months, like April, May, June, July, August, and September. Occasionally October, but when you get into November and December, you don't know what the weather's going to be like, so it's kind of hard to pick a safe day. The day I got married, July 2nd, it was 103 degrees, and I had bought my wedding dress in the winter, and I had bought it was a beautiful dress. It was a beautiful dress. It was. I was like a virginal dress, actually. It was like a really high neck thing, because I have nothing. I'm flat. I'm very flat. So it had all these little pearl buttons. It was so pretty. It was all pearl, and it was all like a little bit of lace. I don't have any pictures, I don't think. I don't know. I'll have to look. If I do, I'll put one here. There's my wedding dress. July 2nd, 103 degrees. Winter wedding dress. And now that I'm thinking about it, I don't even know that it, like, I'll have to look at the picture when I find one. Maybe it does. I know for a fact that the sleeve had pearl buttons all the way up and down, the pearl buttons on up and down on the side. It was a beautiful dress, but I bought it in the winter because it was a winter dress. It wasn't a summer dress. That's why I got it so cheap, because it was a winter dress. And 102 degrees. Thankfully, the hall where we had our reception was air conditioned, but the church was not. It was very hot in the church. It was really, really hot in the church. But, and as we were getting ready to leave, Mrs. Hubert from across the street come to see my dress, and I had this tiny little tear on the side that you couldn't even see. She would not let me go. It was bad luck. You can't go. So she ran home and got her little needle, because she was a beautiful seamstress. She came home and back, and I didn't even have to take the dress off. She fixed it, and you never even knew it was fixed. She did a great job with it. But anyway, I'm still hoping for a loss tomorrow. I'm not going to lose 3. I mean, it doesn't sound pessimistic. I just know my body. I know how my body is. I gained 3.6 last week. There's no way I'm going to lose 3.6 this week. But you know what? I'm still going to have a loss. I really, truly feel I'm shooting for 2 pounds. I know that's kind of like over the moon for me, hoping for that much. And I'll be honest with you, I'll be a little disappointed if I don't lose at least 2 pounds. But if I have any kind of a loss, obviously I'm going to be happy about that. But I'm really hoping for 2 pounds. I'm hoping for at least half of what I gained, which is sad. I put that weight on within a couple days. You'd think I could lose it within a couple days, but that's just not how my body, and I think most bodies, work. It's just not fair. It's not fair. So anyway, but I'm determined. That's my word of the day today. Determined. I'm determined to stay on track today. I'm not going to show you my food, just out of habit that I don't show you my food on Friday. You did see my menu, so if you look at my menu from last week, I have to look at it still to see what I'm having to eat today. But I've been following I tweaked it just a little bit. The other day we were supposed to have lasagna roll-ups, and I just didn't feel like cooking that night. So I told Jim in the morning, I said, I don't feel like cooking tonight, so I'm not cooking. I'm going to just have a salad for my dinner. You can do what you want. So Jim made, I think he made something with his venison. I forget what he made something himself. Because Jim's a good cook. Jim was a short order cook, and he was a cook in the Army. He was a cook in the Army, and he also drove tanks in the Army too. So But other than that, I followed my plan all week, and I'm really proud of myself that I stayed on track. And it really helped me out tremendously, and I really do believe I'm going to do it again next week, because it helped me that much. And especially if I have a 2-pound loss tomorrow, that'll be all the more justification. If I have any kind of a loss, it'll tell me that it did. But I was determined to figure out how to change my About Me page on my my YouTube channel, because I had told you the other day that I was getting so annoyed that I couldn't. My computer is so slow. Jim was asking me what I wanted for Christmas. I have found, when I was going through some stuff, my old movies from when I was a child, and I asked for, but the projector we have doesn't work. Or no, we don't even have a projector. That was it. We don't have a projector. Somehow it didn't broke or something. We threw it away, so we don't have the projector. But I got all this film, and I remember, if you remember, I tried to bring it to Walgreens to have them convert it from the tape to the CDs or DVDs, and it was a fortune. I brought in like 4 reels, and then they told me it was going to be $600. I told them, I said, I'm sorry. I said, you're going to have to keep my movie films as punishment for me thinking that I could afford this, but I cannot afford $600 for just 4. I probably have 80 or 100 of them. I'm thinking, there's no way I can do it. And I was just feeling sad that I can't really watch them because I don't have a projector. And so I asked Jim to find me a projector for Christmas, for one of my Christmas presents. And so he likes searching for things like that. Jim gives me pretty good gifts. Who wanted to know? Somebody asked me. Suzanne wanted to know what Jim's very first gift to me was. His very first gift to me as a married couple was a clock, which I still have. And Danny has actually got that listed in the death book. I know, that's a terrible name for that book. If you're new to my channel, I have a book where I have a will. I obviously have a will, but I don't want to list everything, nitpicking along the way, because I acquire new stuff, and then you got to go on and amend the will and all that. So my kids have agreed, and I have that in the will, that whatever we have in the death book, which is a terrible name, I understand, but whatever's in the death book, they automatically get that that's part of my will. And I know it won't stand up in court. Well, it might stand up in court since I have it in the will, but I don't know. I don't worry about my kids. My kids get along very well, but then people, when they die, things change. I understand that, but anyway, it's neither here nor there. All my kids have different things that I have around the house that they want, that they've claimed, and it's in the death book. And Danny has the very first clock that Jim ever got me. Jim has given me some crappy gifts in the past, which I'll tell you another day, because that's not the story I'm sharing today. I'm saving that story for another day, but I wanted to at least tell Suzanne my very first gift. As Suzanne's WW journey, my very first gift was a clock, which I'll show you. That was my very first clock that Jim bought me. Right here. I've had that clock for almost, 48 years? It's a long time. It's a long time for a clock. I've always liked watches and clocks. I don't know why. I have this thing about being on time. I can't stand being late. I'll be right back. That was Angela sharing great news about a new program for Medicare that they're being offered. The problem with the landline is you get so many calls. I've done the black thing, but that doesn't work. But anyway, so that was one of my first gifts from Jim. But like I said, that I was trying to think of what I wanted, and while I was sitting at my computer today, I know I go off on a thing, but when I was sitting at my computer today trying to figure out how to get to my About page on my YouTube channel so I could change my post office box on there, I was just going crazy. I was getting so frustrated because my computer is so slow. I told you I bought it in 2005. So now I'm going to also ask for a laptop, because I talked to my tech guy, Aaron, and I was going to just get a new desktop, and he said I'd be better off just getting a laptop. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask for that. So, but I did get it. Oh, anyway, so my determination today, because I told you I woke up with determination today. My ADD is really into full bloom today, as you can see. But I was so determined that I was going to get this fixed, and I went from this page to that page, and I watched a couple YouTube videos, and they weren't helping me. And then I clicked on this, and then I clicked on that, and then I kept clicking, and I was finally getting so frustrated, and I clicked on something, and then the phone rang, and I went and answered it. And when I came back, it was on my About page. How I got there, I have no idea. But I was able to fix it and get it fixed on my actual page. And then I did change my About Me because it was so old and outdated. It was just like nothing. You know, it was just like, hi, you know, whatever. It was boring. Not that I think it's all that great now, but I think it tells a little bit more about my channel. And so I got that all done, and I hit publish, and it published, and it shows up on my channel. I thought, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm just so proud of myself. So if I can pass that determination for that, I can stay on track for the rest of December to lose my 100 pounds. So you guys can stop hearing me say, I'm going to lose my 100 pounds. Because I am going to do it. Okay, so we're going to share a story today. Let me find one that I want to share. Thank you for the suggestions. They're really helping me out tremendously. They really are. I think I have a really good memory about things that happened in the past, but if you ask me why I walked into a certain room, why am I in here? What am I doing in here? I don't know. I don't know. It's just... But anyway, oh, okay, Teresa May. Teresa May wanted to know about Christmas traditions. In my family, I always told you that Jim's family did Christmas Eve and we did Christmas Day, my family. So I would always have to be home to do Christmas Eve before I could go with Jim. Luckily, Jim's family always did Christmas Eve closer to like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. Because then they would go to midnight mass afterwards. My family did Christmas Eve in the evening, like right after, and we usually ate dinner at 5:30. So usually around 6:30, 7 o'clock, we did our own little Christmas Eve. And what we would do in my family when I was growing up is we would, my mother would make hot chocolate, but not with milk. She'd make it with water, and then we'd get a little drip of Carnation instant milk that she'd mix with water. And we would get just like 4 marshmallows. I don't know why just 4. Maybe there was a smaller package or something, but we'd get like just a couple marshmallows. Maybe we got more, and in my memory, I think it was just 4. But we would get our hot chocolate, and we would get that. And then my mother always made a cake of some sort, and we'd have a slice of cake with our hot fudge. And we would open our gifts from each other. And my mother would give us, and she would take us one at a time, we would go to the dime store, and she would give us $1.25 because you had 5 siblings, and you got to spend 25 cents on each of your siblings. And you had to spend the whole 25 cents. You couldn't like try to think, well, I'm only going to spend 75 cents and I'll keep the 50 cents for myself. My mother would watch you, go with you up to the counter, and you damn well better come up with that $1.25. If it was a couple pennies more or something like that, my mother always kicked in the money, but you know, like you had to come up with that. And at the dime store back in the 50s and 60s, you could get a lot for a quarter. And so we would go, and my sister Sue was like really a girly girl, and so I would buy her like hair clips or bobby pins or barrettes or something like that, or like nail polish, not even nail polish because she wasn't old enough at that point. But you know, like I would get her like girly stuff. And then my brother Michael liked those little balsam airplanes that you used to put together, and then you'd like throw it and it would go all that. So we would spend our money in that. We would go home and we would wrap it all up. My grandmother from Boston would send us a package every year. We got it every year for Christmas Eve. We always got like a week or so before, and we always looked in great anticipation when the UPS guy would come, and we'd open it up and we'd find our particular package and we'd put it under the tree and we'd be like all excited. And every year we were disappointed because every year she got you something that didn't fit, or she got you something that you didn't want. But it was just the anticipation of that UPS guy coming. Maybe it wasn't even UPS, it probably was just the mail, regular mail guy. But the mail coming with the package with the with your present, and then you had all your other little presents under the tree from your brothers, my brother and my sisters, and we'd sit around and we'd have our hot chocolate. And then my mother always gave us one gift, and the one gift we always got was our Christmas outfit. every year I fell for it because every year I kept thinking, oh, I can't wait to see what I have. I can't wait. And I'd open it up and it went, it's my Christmas outfit. How come I didn't remember that? I got the same thing last year. I would never remember. And every year I would just be like, oh my gosh, how come I got that? But then you'd open up your little gifts from each other with your brothers and sisters. And it was always something pretty cool. It was something, you know, you always could find something that somebody liked. And it was just, my family growing up, we were just always taught that it's just the gift of giving. It doesn't really matter what you got. And even with the things with my grandmother that we didn't really ever fit in or whatever, you know, like it wasn't something we really wanted. It was just the joy of knowing every Christmas we were going to get a present from my grandmother in Boston. Now my grandmother that lived in Michigan didn't have any use for any of her grandchildren. She had so many of them, and so we didn't even see her or anything like that. So it wasn't like a disappointment that I never got anything from her because it wasn't anything that I really anticipated. I think the reason I try to be such a good grandma is because I didn't have a grandma. My grandma in Boston was very kind and sending me stuff every year for Christmas, but I didn't really know her. I saw her when I was very small and maybe a couple times as I got older, but I didn't really know my grandma. My mother was an excellent grandma. My father was an excellent grandpa. So I based my being a good grandparent on them. I followed their example, and that's my goal, to be a good grandparent. So that when my kids got born, and when we would do the same tradition as far as the Christmas Eve. And every Christmas Eve they would buy gifts for each other, and they would put them under the tree, and then we would have to leave a little bit earlier because Jim's mother lived about an hour and a half away, and so we would have to leave like about 4:30, 5 o'clock to get to her house. And so we used to do ours like at 3:30, 4 o'clock, about 3 o'clock, because they always used to take their baths or showers and changed into their Christmas clothes. But we always did the same thing. We had hot chocolate, but we made ours with real milk. My mother, I know, was because they couldn't afford to buy hot chocolate with milk. That's why we had it with water, and that's why we drank a lot of instant milk. But you know what? Look at me. I grew up and I was overweight. So obviously, food is an issue in my family, I guess. I don't know. My whole family is overweight. But we weren't when we were growing up. But we weren't too thin. We were healthy. We were healthy. We ate healthy foods. And somehow my mother managed. But anyway, so my kids always look forward to every year. And they followed the tradition of that. And then it just got to be when they got a little bit older and they started dating and stuff. I still wanted to celebrate Christmas Eve with them, but then we were still going to Jim's parents' house, and we were still going to my parents' house, and they wanted to go to their friend's house, and so I felt like I was getting kind of cheated that I wasn't having just us. And so we started the tradition of Christmas Eve. And so we do it every year on the 23rd, my immediate family, just my kids, my grandkids, and Jim and I. We take this table and put it into the dining room, and we have one big table and we all sit together. I have my Christmas china that Jim got me for Christmas one year. Decorate the table really nice. I make their favorite meals, and we just have a really good time. So that's a tradition that we've started. One of the things that I meant to tell you when we were talking about when we were a child, when we were opening gifts, Mary used to get so upset every year. And I'm going to put this picture I saw on Facebook inside that'll kind of sum up how Mary felt. My mother for some reason always dressed Mary and Denise alike. And they are not any closer in age than my sister Sue and I was. I was born in 1950 and Susie was born in 1953. And then Mary was born in 1958 and Denise was born in 1960. So it was only a difference of 1 year, but Susie was a girly girl from the get-go, from always. And I was always a tomboy. So my mother just kind of knew I wasn't going to wear a dress any longer than I had to. And I certainly wasn't going to wear a dress that somebody else was going to wear because I just, no. But Mary would get so upset every year because she'd look so forward. We all did. We'd look forward to opening our Christmas outfits, and then she'd always open hers, and then she'd look over and see Denise got the exact same outfit, and she'd be so upset. But anyway, I have really great Christmas memories. Unfortunately, we're not getting together for Eve of Christmas Eve this year. I am buying presents for my family, but we're trying to figure out a way that I'm probably just going to drop them off or something, and we're just going to FaceTime as we're opening our gifts with each other. I'm just determined to be really safe because I know that next year I want to be here for Christmas. I want to have the best, grandest, spend a lot of money, spend a lot of time together, kind of Christmas next year. And the only way that's going to happen is if I scale back this year. So I'm still getting gifts. I'm still going to have my favorite meal on my Christmas Eve. And Eve of Christmas Eve, we're all planning on doing like a Zoom, and we'll all sit at home and open our gifts that way. It's different, but it's a different year. So we just got to go with the flow, as they say. But, okay, once again, thank you, Teresa May, for suggesting the memory lane that I went down. So... and Suzanne over at Suzanne's WW Journey. So I got 2 of you in. So thank you so much. I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to go feed my birds now because their feeders are empty, and then get on with my day. So I thank you so much for watching. If you do have any suggestions for memories that you think I might be able to share, hopefully if I get my video, my projector for Christmas, I'll see some movies and it'll revive some other memories for me. Who's to know? So, okay, like, comment, subscribe, share. Talk to you tomorrow. Stay safe.